We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
You got to have the why, and we know our why. So
You don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Millions and millions of people have done this already. You can get help, you can get a roadmap, you can save a lot of time, money, and frustration. Welcome to the Value Add Podcast with K&K. Hi everyone, welcome to the Value Add Podcast with Crystal and Kenny. Today we want to talk to you about something that we are super passionate about, which is our morning routine. And really more than a morning routine, it's really just kind of like a night routine, a morning routine. And obviously you've seen Kenny, he's a total lunatic. He posts...
Not everybody might see me.
Okay, yeah, because not all of us wake up at 4 a.m. Or you just click straight through all of his rants
Well, if you
straight to
follow
Harlow.
me, you can see me.
But Kenny posts a lot about his morning routine and about his motivation and getting up and his drive and all of that. So today we're going to talk to you a little bit about how we do that and what our philosophy is, and also how it's changed since we've had a baby, because that definitely throws a new element into the game. So Ken, a quick question, or just to get us started anyways. Like, how have you stayed consistent? Because obviously I know after we gave birth to Harlow, you pretty much didn't skip a beat with your routine. Like, when did your routine start? It's been going on for a couple years, but how did you get started on that? And how did you keep yourself from falling off after we had the baby?
Yeah, I think we talked about that like the other day. When Harlow was born, I think I didn't work out for it's like 3 or 4 days after, because it's chaos. And by the weekend, I was back on my routine. A lot of it's just the mindset, though. For me, it's not physical; it's more mental. So I think I have my why down, and I realize that when I don't do it, the effects, and when I do it, the effects. So for me, it's super important. I mean, I think I've been on this kick for couple of years, and then before, sometimes I'd get up early, not get up, and you're always like, you're so inconsistent with it, because
I mean, you really have always kind of been a morning person, so I think that comes a little bit more easily to you than it probably does a lot of other people, but you weren't doing it consistently, and I would definitely notice a change in your mood. Like, you'd be crabby or grouchy when you would wake up late, and then you'd get your day started, and it'd be just kind of like this chaotic rush to hurry up and get to work, and then you didn't work out, and you didn't prepare.
Then I was mad at you and blame you.
And you were super grouchy.
It
Oh
was
my
your
God.
fault.
We ride together to the office a lot of times, and the road rage, and just in the car, I'd be like, why do I ride to work with him every day? It's so stressful.
Well, I think we started so what we did is I think we started understanding, and we sat down and talked, and I was like, man, I really, the days we figured out, the days I work out, it was better. And the days you worked out was better, right? We felt better. And so I think we started studying and watching people that just take a normal person, a fit person that wakes up and works out. How do they do it? And then we started realizing, wait a second here, it's not just fit people that have a morning routine. It can be anybody. But then we realized a lot of entrepreneurs or people that just are really, really successful people that we were watching on podcasts were like, wow, they have a morning routine and they have a night routine. And then we started realizing, wait a second here, there's something common, and they're consistent. And then we started really reading and why they do it. And then you start realizing it wasn't just about working out. It wasn't just about, I work out. It was more like, no, they had to have this start to their day they felt to be successful. And this is what changed a lot of stuff for them, whether it's parenting or just health or everything, right?
Yeah. Thinking back on that, I think it was kind of like when we went to Vietnam, and we were reading that Tribe of Mentors book right up there on the shelf by Tim Ferriss. And it's really cool because it's more like an almanac of all these really successful people across any different industry you can really think of.
Authors,
but
surfing,
we started
actors,
we started
everything.
noticing the common themes with everybody. I mean, a lot of successful people talk about their successes and how they start their mornings.
Meditation was big.
Yeah.
Meditation's big. So I think then we figured out, we want to get up early, right? Remember? And then we're like, okay, so how do we be consistent with it? So then we realized it wasn't really about the morning. It was really about the night before. And we never really thought about making changes there, because we're just like, okay, just go to bed, get on our phones, watch TV, do whatever. Next thing you know, where it's 11 o'clock, you're still watching a show. Then you turn off the TV. Then you didn't really know that you really don't go to bed till 12:30. And then all of a sudden the alarm goes off at 6 and you're like, fuck, I'm not getting up. It's too early, you know? And then we're crabby and you're trying to wake up. So then we just realized, like, wait a second here. It's the night before. It wasn't about the morning.
And the morning routine was much more difficult for me. And I don't talk about my morning routine as much, but definitely I was on a morning routine while I was pregnant before, and have gotten back on it now just within the last few weeks. But I will say, like, people will tell you, oh, it takes 21 days to create a habit. That is BS. Like, getting up early did not get easier for me until I was pregnant, and I had been doing it for about a year before that. And then when I was pregnant, it got easier because I was getting tired so early at night. I'd go to sleep, and then it'd be easy for me to wake up at 5 or 5:30. And then now I've just now started getting up early again.
Yeah.
And my alarm goes off at 4:55. I get out of bed at 5. But it's a lot easier for me now too. So I would say if something is just not part of your makeup, not who you are, it could take a year or two to really train yourself. I mean, and if you think about it, it's not really that long if your body is used to doing something for 15, 20, 30 years to take a year or two to adjust to a new way of being. But it's so true, the night routine, because when I used to try to back into thinking like, okay, so I want to get up at this time so that way I can get my gym in, I can get my me time in, I'd be like, holy shit, how am I going to get up at 5 a.m.? Like, that seems crazy.
No, you would say.
And then I'd be like, okay, well, if I go to bed at 10 o'clock, well, that's still not quite enough.
Because you would
go
say,
to bed at 9.
You would say, like, I get up at 4. We'd even say,
yeah,
that's insanity.
Right.
That doesn't even make any sense. Like
some people still haven't gone to bed yet at 4 o'clock, 4 a.m.
He doesn't have a life. He must take a nap. Like, it was all this excuse, but then you back into it and you realize it's actually not insane. It's not insanity. It's just about being disciplined, you know?
And a ton of, I think a really big part of it is when you get to that nighttime routine, and we'll talk about like what we do. But the biggest thing for me with the nighttime routine and getting to bed, I mean, obviously you have to get to bed earlier if you're not used to getting up in the morning, or if you've always been a night person. So you really need to readjust. And the way that you do that is cut out the TV and cut out the phone after a certain time. And for us, it's like, for me, it's more like 8:39. I might text somebody here or there, like if I forget something quickly, but I'm not spending time scrolling through Instagram on my phone,
or
looking
articles
at stuff,
or
any of it,
emails. No. I think what it is for you and I, we use like I don't know if it's called a metaphor or something, where it's like for me is when we walk through our door of our bedroom, we kind of feel like we go into a different space. When we go in there, it's like, number one, I used to read emails. I used to look at news. I'd be going to bed like fired up about an email. It's like 10 o'clock at night and I'm over here. Then I get you fired up and you're like, what are we doing? Like now it's 12 o'clock. We're stressed out. We can't go to sleep. If there's nothing we can do about it till 6 a.m. anyway. So we just wasted our whole night, right? So number one is, I would tell people, it's like we say is when you walk through your door, there is no phone. Like literally, if you're gonna do a text, I get it, but do not look at news. Do not look at your email for something that, and Instagram and stuff. Like, I think you just need to learn to cut it. And yeah, remember we were grabbing for it. We were like literally like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even. And then finally we learned to stop.
Well,
it.
We're so used to grabbing our phones and looking at things. I also said the do not disturb on my phone. That's huge. Some people don't know how to do that. It's pretty easy. You can go in your settings. Yeah, I just Google it, go in your settings and set it up. So I have it to where I don't get disturbed with emails or texts or calls after 9 p.m. And I don't actually get them until 7 a.m. the next day. So, I mean, for me, I'm not looking at my emails or trying to get back on things between those hours. And I'm not like hearing that beeping that is like, it's instant like stressor. It's like you hear the little chime and you're like, oh, who was it? I need to check. Like it just eats at you, you know? So I think the do not disturb.
Yeah. And I think people understand it's not like, there's not every once in a while, like we used to work late too. It's not like we couldn't go work on a project late, but what we're saying is we're not going to sit in bed like we're going to go sleep. We're going to go in our office or downstairs and do work. But when we come up to our room, we just have it where it's like, if we're going to work, we're going to stay outside our bedroom. If we're going to not work, we come inside our bedroom. That's where we're like, we're done, right? Like turn it off, shut it down. No Netflix, no, just that one more episode of whatever show you're watching, you know? It's like, then it's 3 more because that you can look statistically, like if you watch 4 or 5 episodes, like we talked about, your brain is not winding down. You're getting a terrible night of sleep because you're going to be like 1.5, 2 hours. So I think to break it down is the night routine. It's simple. It's like, get into your room by 9 o'clock. You should be lights out by 9:30, right?
Yep.
And then let's talk about the night before, planning the night before for the morning success, right? So is your alarm set? Oh, my alarm didn't go off. That's why I didn't make it to the gym. Like it's stupid, but how many people do that literally? Or my alarm went off, but I hit snooze and I didn't hear it again. So how do you fix that? If you have been 20 years and not get up and you think you're just going to go, I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock tomorrow. And it's never going to happen. Put the alarm on the opposite side of the room. Get your clothes ready and organized. Get your water, get your coffee, get your pre-workout drink. Get it ready to go. I'm talking about somebody that is trying to make a switch here.
Get your clothes ready, get all that stuff.
Because here's what people don't understand. And you kind of know this because we've talked about this. For people, when they go from not getting up to getting up, it's like a stress. You've talked about this. You're like, why am I stressed about it?
Yeah,
you're stressed because you're putting pressure on yourself because you got to get up at 5.
When I first started, that was the thing. Like, I wouldn't even get a good night's sleep because I'd be so stressed about waking up in the morning.
She'd be like, I'm stressed about getting up at 6.
Oh,
I'm like, you're
anxiety.
stressed?
Honestly, the anxiety, because I was so not the morning person, the anxiety would actually start like the evening before. Like, it would be like 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon or the evening. I'd be like coming home from work like, oh my God, like I only have like a few hours and then I need to like figure out how to get to sleep so I can wake up tomorrow.
You're putting stress on me.
Yeah,
but this is what I'm saying.
And then I would get grouchy because I'd be like, I have to go to bed. Like, I got to wake up tomorrow at 5:30. So, it's going to happen,
And
though.
so here's the thing. The night before, get it ready. And if you've been doing this 2 years, you don't need that because you're not stretching. You're so used to it. And most of it will be ready. You know where your coffee is. You know where your pre-workout. You know where your water is. You know where your clothes is. You know where. There's no excuse. The other thing that I think a lot of people screw up on, they don't think about, is where's your car keys? Oh, I couldn't go wake my wife up, so it was in the room. Like, make sure your car keys are ready. Make sure you have gas. Make sure, are you working out with a partner? Are you working at a gym? Don't show up at the gym and be like, oh, well, I didn't really plan a workout, so I'm going to work out at half.
Which, by the way, is another really good way to keep yourself accountable, because if you're just going to go work out by yourself and you're not used to doing this, it's so easy for you to be like, tomorrow.
Or you get there and you do a half-ass workout, which is...
Or you're like some of the people we even see at our gym you were talking about. You see these people walking in with their New Year's resolutions, and the guy walks in the gym and works out for like 10 minutes, disappears into the bathroom, and then walks out the door, and that was his workout.
They walk in 20 minutes. I see the guy... 10 minutes is in the bathroom. I'm sure he's taking a crap, right? And then his wife's there and they leave. I'm like, so you get up at 5:30 to come here for 10 minutes. Like, I just, it's like I said, I guarantee you if I talk to him, it's the night before. I guarantee you it's like, what? It was this and that.
Yeah. It is actually a pretty nice bathroom.
It's pretty quiet in there. Yeah. The music's on. We can't hear him screaming and hollering in there.
So, like, the other thing, too, for me that has really helped and I've had to do since, especially more being a mom, but I started it actually before, is scheduling everything. Like, you really need to schedule your life, because if you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants, you don't have a schedule. Kenny doesn't do this as much, but I really feel like I have to do this. I literally have scheduled in driving time, and my day is literally scheduled starting at 5 a.m. when I get up. So it's like, for me, I have to pump before I go to the gym. I get up at 5 a.m. I get my coffee ready. I have to be pumping by 5:15.
If you're running late, you're stressed.
At 5:15, I know I am pumping while eating a bowl of cereal. After that, I'll have my coffee. And also, I'm listening either to an audiobook or a podcast in my AirPods, while I'm doing all that. So for one, I'm trying to multitask as much as possible, get motivated, get the baby the milk, feed myself, and get myself energized all at the same time. But I know then it's like, after that, it's like, I got to put the milk away. That's scheduled. I got to get dressed for the gym. I got to have, 10, 15 minutes of driving time. What if I hit traffic? So I want to get there a little bit early, so I'm there on time.
I mean, even the night before for us is like, we have to leave the milk out by the, for Harlow.
Yep.
that because I get up early to get it, because it's another thing. If not, it's like oh, it's just, you got it.
So we have all these
yeah.
things scheduled. I mean, and my day is scheduled at the office, and then I have to leave by 3:45. I include drive time in my calendar to get home to Harlow so we can relieve the nanny. Starting dinner, giving Harlow a bath, spending time with Harlow. We schedule in self-improvement every night. So from 8 to 9 o'clock at night, it's calendared for us to work on some sort of self-improvement for ourselves. We do that Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekends, but sometimes on the weekends, maybe we want to watch a movie or something. I mean, there's only so much time for us once Harlow goes to bed. So, but all those things are scheduled, and that's really been huge for me. So, I really think if you're trying to get up early, you need to start scheduling your day, and hopefully you can work out with people or schedule things with people that will help to keep you accountable in the beginning, those like first days when it's not easy getting up.
Yeah. And then the morning routine, the mornings actually become easier if you just prepare at night, right? It's just like anything. If you go over your day for the morning. So the morning is as simple. I mean, for me, I don't have to worry about this as much, but just an example. If you haven't got up, the alarm goes off. Crystal, what is the most important thing I literally tell you or anybody?
He always has feet on the ground, and that worked for me for a while, but then I also added something else. It's like when you don't want to just put your feet on the ground, you got to count down from 5. Like there is a 5-second rule, and you're just like, I mean, it's like when you're doing something you really don't want to do, you're like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and that's kind of how I do it because I really don't want to get up. Like that bed feels really cozy at 5 a.m. Like it's just like, if it's cold, you're like, I could just stay under the covers here.
So you've got that, you get up, and then I immediately am like, as soon as you grab your phone, I would not go on Instagram. I would not do all this stuff. Have your playlist ready or in a podcast, something motivational. Put your earbuds in. If you don't have them, you should get some, or your earphones in. Get music pumping in, and you're like, and then boom, you're like, get your dressed. You walk down. Maybe your coffee's made, or you're making it. Your your pre-workout drink, and then you're moving, you're grooving, and then it's like it's just 1, 2, 3, go, and that's it. If you don't have this stuff, it's going to be really hard for somebody waking up. And then it's going to be any excuse. Oh, it's raining, it's this and that. And I'll tell you right now, we're January, we're coming up on January 20th, right? Right now, by the end of this month, 40% of people, 40 out of 100 people that said, I'm going to work out, get up early, are gone. It's over. 25% the first week are gone. 40%, who are you? 40% are falling off. Why? I guarantee you it's a night routine. I guarantee you.
That, but also let's talk about something else, because I think a big part of it too is like people think that they only have to do this thing Monday through Friday. And then there's the weekend. Then you go out with your friends, you stay out late, you come home at 1 a.m., you're hungover the next day, you stay in bed all day or stay on the couch, you eat like crap, you don't work out, and then you think, I'll hit it on Monday.
And it's like being hungover on Monday, literally. Just go watch a podcast on a sleep doctor or something. They're going to tell you, if you get up early Monday through Friday, then you sleep in on the weekends. It's like being hungover and starting this whole thing
you're
over and over
restarting
again,
like this habit over and over again. So you're like banging your head against the wall, trying to do something different, but it's not working.
Yeah.
I mean,
so this is what you do. For example, tomorrow night, which I don't go out, I'm going to go to something in a comedy show, which I get stressed about staying out late. But let's say I go to bed at 11 o'clock, right? I'm still going to get up early. Still going to, let's say I get up at 4:30. Maybe I get up at, depending on Harlow, I could get up at anywhere from 2 to 5, right? Let's say I sleep until 5:30. I'm in the range, right? Let's just say, but I'm super tired. Get up, go be active, go work out. Come back between 12 and 2. Take a friggin' nap. Don't sleep until 9 and you're going to screw. It's like a mess.
Well, again, it's about how you start your day. And another thing is like, I read the book Miracle Morning. Kenny didn't. It's huge. It's been huge for me.
I watched the podcast.
It didn't do the audiobook even, but
I still can.
You should. So it's a really good book though, and it just does talk about your routine and about how you set your day up for success. So like if you're setting up your day for waking up hungover and laying on the couch, you're already screwed. Like your day is a total loss.
And look, guys, like to wrap this up, we get it. Like we're not perfect. You're gonna do this, but what we're saying is if you're gonna get up early and that's what you want to do, and you're gonna have success, and you're not, trust me, 40%. Out of 100, like soon it's going to be 75% are off the routine, right? And soon out of 100 people, when you end at the end of the year, there's probably 5 or 10 people actually stayed on that routine, right? It's just what do you want to be committed to? Do you really want to do this? Are you serious? If not, if the people that I know, if I take myself, how I become successful with this is I've had to say, cool, I'll go out. Sorry, I'm leaving at 9:30. That sucks. You're old. No, it's because I don't want to feel like shit the next day. I don't want to, it's not even feel like shit. I mentally have to do this for myself. I need to be on routine. I function better. I'm a better husband. I'm a better father. I'm a better business person. I'm a better this. I can go all sporadic too. It's just like a cluster, you know? So,
well, and secondly, I think too, the other thing, because people always go like, well, how do you do it now with the baby? And the thing is that you really have to have the support of your partner, and we can't let each other down with that. So it's like Kenny and I still have this, you know, okay, well, Kenny is going to go to the gym at 5 a.m. so that way he can be back home by 6 a.m. so that way I can leave by 6:15 to go to the gym myself and come back while he's watching Harlow. So we have to coordinate our schedules together. And in order to do that, we have to really respect each other's schedule. And that's, I mean, for one, that's just the respect I think you have for your partner, but that's also part of being a team and holding each other accountable. So
it's simple. You got to have your partner has to be on the same page. If not, you're going to fail, or you're going to end up divorced, or you're going to end up killing each other. 2, you find some people to hold you accountable, right? And working out, it makes it a lot easier. And 3 is if your friends all want to go out and party late at night and you're the only one, find some new friends, because eventually this shit's going to get old. And the other thing is like you said, is if you're going to have a kid, whatever, respect each other's schedule. Yeah, I have to get up between 2 o'clock. I get up average 3 to 4 o'clock because of Harlow. And I still stay up and still go to the gym. Why? Because I'm just dedicated. I mean, you look at me and I'm like, it's 8:30, you're tired. And I'm like, well, that's just how it is, you know? So if we're going to do stuff, we got to do it earlier, right? When we've planned that. So that's the most important thing is, honestly, is to get up early, is setting a schedule the night before so you're set up for success. That's what I would leave everybody with.
Well, there you have it, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in comments or send us an email. You know how to get a hold of us. But
if you want some motivation,
if you need some motivation,
follow me online.
Exactly. There you go. There you go.
I was trying to wrap it up.
Yeah, because you could go on about that.
I
could go on about it.
You're chatting.